From our studio in Newport Beach, California, welcome to another edition of the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show. Sometimes scattered, but always edgy. We're an authentic take on sports talk. Rated R. Chab Dog brings you Eric, the well-read, Frank, the tank, Brian from SportsRock, and special guests. We're here to talk sports. We're here to rant and vent. We're here to take it up another notch. Now here's your host, Chab Dog.
Hi, hello everybody. Welcome to another edition of Chab Dog Sports Talk. We're on each Sunday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time, brought to you by Chabner Law, serving Southern California's transactional legal needs, and by Chab Dog Sports Blog on Facebook. Check that out. Just go to Facebook, type Chab Dog, you'll find the page. And, we cover all sports. Mostly football right now, but when basketball and baseball and hockey start up again, we'll be covering those, and whatever else comes my way that I'm interested in.
Golf.
And this podcast is hosted also by Eric Sove, Well Read Productions. How are you, Eric?
Hey, Chab Dog. Greetings from our studios in Newport Beach, California.
Yes. I look forward to be returning to the studio someday soon. But for today, I'll be here in my home office in Manhattan Beach. Mm-hmm. And we've got our usual stuff to talk about today with college football going on. Also, we got the usual slate of pro games, and some of them very near and dear to my heart. I don't know about you. I guess we don't have the Kansas City Chiefs on today, right?
No, we got a bye week this week, so it's no Red Friday. Well, Red Friday, but not for a game this weekend. Red and yellow.
Okay. Well, I hope the Chiefs get some much-needed rest. They've been very busy beating all these competitors of theirs in general, and maybe Mahomes will just go to a Costco and stock up on some ketchup, and then he'll be all set for the next few months.
He needs to get some French's mustard to go with that ketchup.
Oh, well, somebody needs to teach him that mustard's okay to eat. I don't know if does he ever use mustard?
Well, it's red and yellow.
The guy probably puts ketchup on a hot dog, which I know you don't approve of.
Nobody puts ketchup on a hot dog, says Clint Eastwood. Yeah. Sudden impact. No, that's disgusting.
I know. I have seen it with mustard.
Yeah, mustard works, but only mustard. Mustard, sauerkraut, maybe a little relish.
And the show is called the Trumpies in the Air today.
Yes.
And you can let your mind wander as to what I'm talking about, but it doesn't have to be Donald Trump. It could be. There was a good tight end for the Bengals named Bob Trumpe, who turned into a pretty good broadcaster, and I think we have a few of his clips. And of course, the Bengals are on my mind because they're playing the Steelers today. I think that's in an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kicking off at 1 o'clock. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe we can watch some of that game while the show's going on.
No, actually, they moved that game to 4:25.
Oh, they moved it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's not.
Okay.
It's an afternoon game
do you think it's going to be on national TV, or is it just one of those?
No.
Probably one of those.
Unfortunately, well, it's not. Yeah. Okay. I only know what Fox is running, but of course Fox doesn't carry the AFC, so.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah, that would be on CBS. So I guess I'll have to check my local listings, but I have.
Yeah, you know what else is on in the 4 o'clock hour Pacific is the Raiders. So they'll probably play the Raiders. So you're screwed.
Yeah. Oh joy, I get to watch the Raiders.
Yeah, I can send you a link to try and watch a bootleg version if you want.
Oh well, as long as I won't get arrested or something.
You'll just get your computer. Your computer will be spammed. No, you won't. No, it's worse than that. You'll just get spammed by. Actually, the charges are also playing at 1 o'clock.
I just put it in my computer and into Google, and then
no, you can't find it. You can't find it in Google. I'll have to give it to you offline, and I won't announce it either because it's you make sure you're using good anti-virus software.
Pass it to me surreptitiously, okay?
Yeah, exactly. This conversation never happened.
Officially, yeah. You make sure when you go through editing this that you get rid of this portion of the show. Yeah,
well, it's a live show, Chap Dog, so we can't really.
You have to use your editorial discretion, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'll just wave that wand, like in the movie.
Well, I don't know if we're going to have Frank Fleming on. Of course,
it was his birthday earlier this week. He turned 45.
Yeah, I did. I wished him a happy birthday.
Excellent.
I don't know how he celebrated. I'm not sure what he was doing.
Well, that'll be the first question.
Probably went out and got a good sandwich, I would think.
Yeah. I bet you he ate well. No doubt about that.
Yeah. Well, did you follow what happened yesterday with the? Hear about that big rally in Washington D.C.?
The million MAGA march.
Million man MAGA rally.
How many did they get?
I think I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at some pictures that it does seem like there were a lot of people there. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
It was a show of support, and then there was the usual fisticuffs and dust-ups with the Antifa people. I don't think it was a major problem, but there was some violence, I guess, which is never good to see.
No, they arrested 20 after hours, and one person was stabbed, but how that relates to the Million MAGA March is unclear. That sounds like a normal night in Washington anyway on a Saturday.
Yeah. At least it was largely peaceful, and so that continues to play out, and I think it will for another few weeks.
Well,
until these things are certified.
Until the states certify, and under the circumstances, I mean, the other side is grumbling. But that being said, given it's so close, he doesn't have to concede. If it was a Democratic president sitting there, he wouldn't have to concede either. I mean, sorry, it's close. So why should the leader concede when it's this close and there's recounts required to verify?
Did he until a month later?
Oh yeah.
After the Supreme Court killed it.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's going to take longer, it's going to take longer. That's all there is to it. And he doesn't have to concede. Should he concede? That's a different question. But does he have to? No. Under the current circumstances, he has no legal obligation to concede at all because nothing's been certified. There's nothing certain. It's highly likely he's lost, but it's nothing certain. So whether it's in bad form to do so, that's a different story.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't care much about whether it was in bad form.
No. He's using this as a launch to his next career, which is speculated to be he's going to start his own right-wing network news distribution, and it's all going to be based upon.
Can you imagine that he would be, that he would be like hosting his own show?
Well, he was doing it. Why not?
I mean, he'd love that, and then he'd be king of something else. And
dude, he'll use it as a platform for the next election. He'll have a 4-year commercial for the next election. You just watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
He'll be campaigning nonstop.
Oh yeah. And every time Biden there's a slip up, the Democrats have a slip up, they'll be making a huge production on it on their network, and saying how the regular news is covering it up. I mean, regular news has. I was thinking about it, they have a lot to blame for this whole situation we're in. If they were just telling us the story straight the whole time, we wouldn't be questioning where we get our news from.
We wouldn't be surprised by anything.
No. Well, we wouldn't. Yeah, we there wouldn't be this question of fake news if there wasn't fake news, and it's not.
I don't know.
Well,
the question is, I mean, yeah.
The media is quick to blame those that say the people utter fake news to ridicule them, but that's the whole point. You're blaming the messenger when in fact you have been producing fake news. You're not true journalists anymore. If you're true journalism, this wouldn't. This level of division didn't occur in the 60s and 70s.
I feel like it's just too hard for the major media outlets to be covering his side of the story. They just don't they don't want to put the effort out. They don't like the effect that has, and so they'd rather just parrot what they would need to parrot and call the rest of the stuff fake. They're basically treating his stuff like fake news.
I saw them do this in the 8 years of the Bush administration. I mean, I don't forget, and nor should you or anyone else, that the media did the same thing. They ridiculed Bush. They ridiculed his policies. They ignored statements and such he was making. And then when the 8 years of President Obama, they deliberately covered stuff up. Mistakes were made to look like victories. I mean, we've had, this isn't new, guys. We've had fake news and media manipulation for their side has been going on now. Jesus, at least going back to Clinton. I think it started in Clinton's administration in the 90s. How they think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, talk about a threat to our democracy. That right there seems like a threat to our democracy, the media.
But it's been an ongoing threat. So, and the result of that now is, as we've mentioned before on the show, that fewer than a third of Americans get their news from any of the major networks as their sole source. Fewer than a third. Yeah. So they've played themselves out of this.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's other things on cable news that you can watch, but the media's control still has. I mean, it still has an effect, particularly when it's partnered with big tech like Google and Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, that's the new danger. Is that? But even there's people calling out Twitter.
That's completely wrong to for those guys to be taking a side and censoring things, and in the name of protecting our ass, they're hiding things.
Yeah, they need to be removed. Their antitrust. If they're going to behave that way, their antitrust protection needs to be removed because they're not acting. Yeah, they're not acting objective, clearly.
Yeah, they violated the public trust. So, all right. Well, enough politics for now. Let's talk about some sports. Did you watch any of the games last night? Or yesterday, the college games?
Yeah, I had the TV on solid. There's some good games on. Geez, what happened to Michigan?
Yeah, what happened in Michigan? I guess you have to ask Heartburn Harbaugh about that. I mean, he's just forgotten how to coach.
I mean, do they even care? They didn't look like they care.
Yeah, it took them like 2.5 quarters to yank that Milton guy who was completely lost at quarterback. I mean, some of those interceptions were just a joke. And their defense was a mess. They were over pursuing, and they when they needed to be more careful, they were getting hit with penalties. They were getting run over. Everything bad that you could think happened, and he's got to take a lot of responsibility for it. It doesn't seem like the players are behind him.
No, or they weren't well prepared, or both. That reflects poorly on coaching.
I don't know if we have a. I didn't send you a clip of the press conference after the game, but that's got to be a special press conference. He's gonna. I'm sure he was melting down. Maybe he didn't even have a press conference. I just know that somebody needs to teach him how to wear his headset, because he looked pretty funny the way he had it set up. He's the only coach I saw out there that had the headset inside of his mask, so it looked like there was something sticking out of his mouth. You know what I mean?
Really? No, I wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah, it was kind of gross. You see the mask over his mouth, but there's this bulge coming out, and it's the headset apparatus.
Only you would notice that.
Yeah, only I would notice that, but it looked very odd. None of the other coaches were doing that. And
so you watch any golf? Apparently, the golfing as well.
That was pretty funny, and Indiana looked good. They won.
Yes. Yeah, very convincing victory there. Jeez, I was watching that game. Who were they playing?
Yeah, who were they playing? Indiana played Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan State. Yeah, which normally they would lose. Yeah, and they're what? They're 3-0, 4-0. I mean, I think going into that game they were number 10
ranked
nationally.
10th in the nation now. Yeah.
It was last time. I think 1987 was last time IU was ranked nationally at all.
That's a long drought.
That's a long drought. So.
Yeah, that is not a school with any kind of football tradition.
But a lot of pride. I mean, the Hoosiers take that team very seriously, even though it's not been serious for a long, long time.
I mean, they haven't won any national championships, I don't think, right?
Well, Frank will be able to confirm that for us. I don't believe they've ever.
Hey, I don't know how many Big Ten championships they've won.
I can't think it's been that many.
You can probably count it on one hand, or one finger, maybe. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they're winning it this year, but they're going to be in a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a good quarterback, a guy named Pemix.
Yeah, 24-0. It was that's why I forgot about Michigan State, because it was 24-0 at the half, and the game ended 24-0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In terms of other games, nothing really that earth-shattering. Miami won again, barely. They're not ranked 9th.
Yeah, USC beat Arizona at the end of the game, 34-30.
Yeah. I'm not sure if USC's that good or they're just lucky.
Well, they're playing the Pac-12, Pac-15. It doesn't, whoever's there.
Yeah. The team in the Pac-10 that's good is Oregon.
Well, so they say, and they did get by, the score last night, and I did watch them play Washington State to 43-29, but it wasn't that big a blowout.
I mean, Washington State's a pretty decent team. They got a good offense. Looked like their defense is pretty weak.
They hung in there for a while.
Oregon kind of imposed its will. I don't know that there's anybody in the Pac-10 that's going to really challenge Oregon. Maybe USC, I guess.
Yeah, you watch USC. They'll do it.
I know you're holding out a lot of hope for USC.
Hey, they can pull up.
But they got to. USC is going to have to get by UCLA.
That's not going to be a problem this year. And Rutgers lost yesterday. Rutgers lost to the Fighting Illini.
Mm-hmm. That's always an entertaining game.
Yeah, 23-20. Score was indicative of that.
Yeah. Yeah, those teams are a little improved, and they're still close, to each other. So it's very competitive. And so too bad Rutgers couldn't pull that out.
Mm-hmm. Notre Dame, number 2 Notre Dame beat Boston College 45-31.
Oh.
So they're going to maintain their status this week.
Notre Dame always. They're pretty predictably. They're reliable against the bad teams and against the mediocre teams. But when it comes to, I know they beat Clemson, so you got to give them credit for that. But I'm not totally believing in them.
Yeah, but they're scoring points. There's another week where they've won over 40, where they had a real paucity for points at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm. The other team that's got a great offense is Florida, and they piled it on against Arkansas. So that's a team to watch. That might be they might be in the finals for the SEC playing Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So
Florida 63, Arkansas 35. Yeah, that's going to be a basketball score there.
Mm-hmm. And North Carolina's got a nice offense. They scored a lot of points and beat Wake Forest 59-53. So they definitely can put it up.
No,
maybe.
Mm-hmm. Of note this week, the Bama LSU game got postponed. So
right.
Benjamin didn't have a chance to watch his team in action.
COVID problems.
Yeah, but continue to plague LSU, unfortunately. And Ohio State was unable to play Maryland. So that game mercilessly got postponed or canceled. because Maryland was going to
stay of execution for Maryland.
Yeah, exactly. Stay of execution because they were just going to get massacred there. That wasn't even going to be close.
Maybe they'll just forget about that game or something.
Yeah, well, they canceled it, so it's just going to be, LSU Bama got postponed, but not canceled. But Ohio State Maryland was outright canceled. So was Cal and Arizona State. So was UCLA versus Utah. There's going to not even bother.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, throw it away.
Just throw it away. Well, those Pac-12 or Pac-16 games are few anyway.
Yep.
So it's not like they can have any pretensions of playing a complete season. I mean,
yeah, this is interesting. With the increase in cases that we're hearing a lot about in the media here, and the media is kind of freaking out about it, although nobody else seems to be yet. I wonder how this is going to impact both college and pro football and our ability to continue having these games. And so far, pro football's been we've had some issues, but been relatively unscathed. But how much longer can this continue for?
Well, as long as the players can stay healthy. I mean, there are hardly any fans at the games. They could easily just completely shut out the fans from the games.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like the players are generally able to avoid. So I know you wonder, like, if it becomes more prevalent, how are they gonna keep it away from the players? If their players aren't in a bubble or something.
Yeah, unless they're in. I presume what they're doing now is just staying with them. They're staying very close, like they're only associating with each other. Their families aren't associating with anybody else when they go home. So they're all staying in a virtual bubble right now, really. And if they do that, they're okay. And
yeah,
have the groceries delivered and all that stuff, and just avoid gatherings and family and things like that. I suppose that is what they're doing right now. That, and they're raising the threshold on the tests, so that if you just show up, if the test is really sensitive and it shows that you have some exposure to it, then boom. But if you adjust the level for it, say we're not going to accept 1 or 2% or whatever amount is ridiculous to count, then you throw away a lot of the false positives.
Oh, well, do you think that we're getting a lot of false positives now, or positives that are insignificant?
Elon Musk? We all know Elon Musk. This week he came out and said, "Hey, I was tested 4 times the same day or 5 times the same day, and half the time, 4 of the tests showed I was positive." Like, he was getting more than 50% results, 50% false positives of taking the same test with the same nurse, same equipment, same day.
Well, that's not good.
No, and the media is not reporting that, but that is not an uncommon report. That a lot of times people go get tested and they're not, they don't have it. It's a false test, and we still have that problem.
I know that happened with Nick Saban.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all it does is just create more hysteria.
Yes. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of that too going around. That they're more, probably. You look at the numbers of infected, you can probably knock that in half because of all the false positives. Certainly, the state of California, where there's 1 million cases here, it's probably only 500,000. No big deal. Well, it is a big deal, but then the death rate, thankfully, the fatality rate from this disease is falling. It's fallen 30% since April, and it continues to fall. Yeah,
well, you kind of knew it was just eventually going to fall back towards the death rate for the flu.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, I don't know. It's higher than that, but I don't know how much higher.
Yeah, but it's falling. It's falling. Thank goodness.
And at some point, we have to take that into account in terms of how concerned we are with this.
Yeah, we're putting our politicians in a very tough spot here, because we'd like them to be more leadership here, but they're clearly erring on the side of caution. And if there is, if they could keep saying minimize contact, minimize association, keep small groups or don't go out at all, of course there'll be no transmission of the virus at all. 6-week lockdowns, yeah. Yeah, President Biden wants to do a 6-week lockdown.
Oh. Well, that'll be
President-elect Biden, yeah. But yeah, and then guess what? So he announced that earlier this week that he wants to go, he's looking at a full lockdown when he takes office for 6 weeks to get the virus under control. And then Dr. Fauci advised against it.
Oh, really? Good for him.
I know. It wasn't that Fauci was ever against Trump. It's that Fauci seems to be against presidents, period. He doesn't care what the party is. He wants to contradict the leader.
He thinks but I mean, Biden doesn't even know what's going to be like in late January when he takes over. So
January 20th is inauguration.
Why should he be committing to doing certain things when he doesn't know if it's necessary?
Yeah, that isn't too sensible. But that being said, okay, now for those that didn't like how the current administration has been handling it and been criticizing the current administration, great. Now's your chance. Bring in some fresh ideas. Bring in some fresh approaches. Let's see if you can do any better. I want people to do. I'm not cheering against them. I'm not being any ironic here or laying this on at all. Let's see if your side can do better. I want some fresh ideas. I hope you can. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can, but that being said, if you do, hey, knock it out of the park. This will help us all. But if your ideas are more lockdowns and government control of our lives, that's not a good idea. Hey, they caught that guy who took a swipe at Rick Moranis a few weeks back. Remember when he got sucker punched in New York?
Yeah, I saw the video on that where he got basically, was he mugged?
Yeah, he was walking along in New York City on, 47th Street or something, and some guy just out of the blue walks past him and just cold cocks him, slams him in the face.
Do you think he knew who he was, or was it just completely random?
Probably. I'm gonna guess completely random. But guess what? The fellow who slugged him had a long rap sheet.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. You remember what happened to Dan Rather?
I'd rather not.
What do you mean you'd rather not? You either remember or you don't.
Well, what is the frequency, Kenneth? What is the frequency, Kenneth? What is the frequency, Kenneth? What?
Right.
What is the frequency, Kenneth?
Right.
Repeating it over and over again.
REO, was it REO or REM?
REM made a song about it.
Right. What's the frequency, Kenneth?
Correct.
Right?
Yes. Just felt like reporting that.
That was pretty funny. It just made no sense at all.
Oh, speaking of no sense, so you sent over the clip of Renee.
Oh yeah.
Watkins. What's her name? Sorry.
Richard Raskin.
Yeah, Richard Raskin and Renee Richards. And I watched that, and I was struck, and that was at one of those celebrity roasts. What year was that? 1975? 71. Jeez.
Yeah, I think it was 77.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think it was a little later.
The Ted Knight roast.
Yeah, the Ted Knight roast. It was 77. So there are two things that really struck me about watching that roast: the D. Martin celebrity roast, and was one her bravery for getting up and doing what Bruce Jenner did decades later and got applauded for. But she's brave. I mean, I don't know anyone else who came out from a transsexual post-operative who then came out in front of celebrities and did a big speech and got roasted for it, but all in good spirit. And secondly, boy, didn't she look a hell of a lot like Bruce Jenner? Like, what the hell's that about? I looked at this dude up there wearing a woman's haircut and woman's makeup and trying to look like a woman, thinking, well, okay, you're still a man, sorry. And then second thought was, damn, you look a lot like Bruce Jenner.
Yeah, right. I never really thought of that until you mentioned it, but now that I'm kind of putting
the nose and the face and the expressions. I mean, damn it. I wonder if Bruce Jenner was inspired.
It's like they went to the same surgeon or something.
Yeah. Maybe they're brothers and sisters lost at birth.
I mean, can you play that? Can you play that clip?
It's long, and I'd have to parse that out to find that piece in it, and it's not even loaded right now. So I'd rather not go into that. But I could play the Trumpe Bear official commercial.
Well, it is Trumpy time, so why don't you play that, and then we can get into the Bengals game with a little Cincinnati clip from Bob Trump.
The wind whispered through the forest. A storm is coming. You cannot defeat the storm. From the trees rose a resounding voice. I fear nothing. I come when the trumpet sounds. I am the storm, the great American grizzly. Introducing the original Trumpy bear, the fearless, super plush American grizzly. Trumpy bear was born June 14th, Flag Day. Just find the secret zipper and pull out the flag blanket. Then wrap yourself in the red, white, and blue for comfort and warmth. Show your patriotism and proudly display Trumpy on Flag Day and on any American holiday. Trumpy can even honor your own family heroes.
God bless America, and God bless Trumpy Bear.
Trumpy Bear sits proudly at the front of the motorcycle for all the world to see and loves to cruise with his brother.
I'm a former Marine, and I'm proud to have Trumpy Bear ride by my side. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Everyone knows Trumpy Bear loves to go to the golf course.
When I ride with Trumpy Bear, he makes my golf game great again. Thank you, Trumpy Bear.
Simply style his trademark hair and place him in his favorite chair. Even the toughest guys will love Trumpy Bear.
When America is great, business is great. When business is great, I am great. I love you, Trumpy Bear.
I am an Army veteran. I am proud to own the Trumpy Bear, and I will always be proud to be an American.
Order the Super Plush Trumpy Bear for only 2 payments of $19.95 and receive a special certificate of authenticity. Don't miss out on owning a piece of American history. Order now for only 2 payments of $19.95. Trumpy, the most fearless bear anywhere. Order now.
Frank Fleming, joining us from Jersey.
Welcoming Frank Fleming to the show.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Tank.
Time to hear Trumpy Bear.
Yeah, he came on for Trump Bear.
Yeah, but did you get a Trumpy Bear, Frank?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, and you didn't go to the march yesterday in Washington?
Nope.
No. I know you're busy on the weekends.
Well, you had
Well, you hear AOC was out there AOC was taking names.
Yeah, I heard that. She's got a pretty big black book now.
And she's on Colbert, and Colbert says that everyone on that list needs to suffer. And he had a virtual audience watching, 8 million people cheering.
Yeah, I'd like to see them try, Tank.
Do you know what her approval rating in New York is?
81%.
97%.
Oh, I'm a little sorry. Yeah, well, that's fixed like a Mexican election, dude. Yeah, the other 3% didn't vote.
In New York, the Channel 11 News in New York calls it the voice of America.
Well, yeah, but look at the district she's running in, dude. I mean, what do you expect? It's all full of illegal Latinas that all chatterboxes and want to control the world, too.
And Channel 11 News, actually, the WPIX Channel 11 News, says that de Blasio is the hero of New York. All the earth association. Channel 11 News actually had a thing on there, had a poll saying that the only way for America to heal is for Republicans to be punished. Channel 11, we are the ones to watch.
Dude, that's WPIX. Who owns WPIX?
Tribune Company.
Oh, yeah, and they're really big fans of the Republicans, the Tribune Company. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a listening call. They said that, is America an evil country? 92% of the reviewers said yes.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me for you.
Sean King from the Daily News on there.
Mm-hmm.
Says that he says that the day of reckoning is here. And they had the thing on there, freedom, like with the song, the Everyday People.
Yes.
There's like a new like rapped over it, and the song is "Freedom's overrated. It leaves you frustrated."
No.
And they had like the guy singing up there going, "The time has come to grab up the chains, change them, all those who don't want to agree." agree. Marx and Lenin are our heroes. Here we come to see the day. Now it's by the way, there's going to be a school. Actually, they're changing the name of George Washington School to Fidel Castro School.
Oh yeah, he's the leader. He's the leader of the 20th century. But Tank, bear in mind.
Here in Chicago.
Yeah, Lori
Here in
Lightfoot.
Chicago, they're going to have all the police aren't allowed to have a day off on Thanksgiving. They're all going to be patrolling, making sure that nobody has Thanksgiving.
Oh, they have to. Yeah, we got to keep down the spread.
Yeah, I heard Governor or Mayor Beetlejuice decided to outlaw Thanksgiving.
It's Lori Lightfoot.
Yep.
Yeah.
She actually came out to that. It's a disgusting holiday where everyone just goes out there and gorges themselves.
Well,
She's banning stores from selling turkeys. She says that soon we're going to be a vegan city. Vegan city.
did she really ban stores from selling? Is that verified, Tank? Did she really ban stores from selling turkeys?
That's what she's talking about doing.
I smell a business opportunity.
We could. Also, the whatchamacallit, New York, the Blasio might do it. So might Murphy, and so might your guy out there in California.
Oh shit! We can bootleg turkeys. Let's bootleg turkeys, Chab Dog. Tank, you can be our Jersey distributor.
You're gonna knock on people's doors, pull your turkey out, and make you eat tofurkey.
Yeah. Well, Tank, bear in mind you do live in the New York metropolitan area, and that is a highly liberal leftist area of this entire country, and there are other spots you could live.
Romney will caucus and away to be cross country.
Dude, I'm not.
Because he's a total pussy and wants to be at the cocktail parties. He will surrender and we won't have anything.
Dude, I'm not talking about Utah. I mean, you can't even get a double, and you can't order a drink double. You say give me a double vodka and soda. No, they can't sell you the double because not Utah. But you know what? You'd fit really well in Wyoming. I could see you doing really well. You could have your ranch there. You could do the show from your ranch in Wyoming. You could wear a 10-gallon hat all day.
Well, they're going to sign the Land Replacement Act, which means all that land is going to go back to the Native Americans, and everyone else will be evicted from the land and put into high-rise projects.
There's a good idea. You know, all the whites, all the liberal whites who made some money there in New York City now have to be put into high-rise projects. That's right. And then we got to give the rest. But the rest of Manhattan's got to go back to the Indians. We sold it for blankets, right? That's a true story.
They're exempt. They're exempt.
Uh-huh.
They're going to go after the people in the suburbs.
Oh, the suburbs.
Yep.
That's where all
they're going to knock down the door and say, leave your property. You have to go to the reassignment center.
Yeah, well, dude, you and I know there'll be civil war long before that happens.
We got the AOC. These people who run these cities, these extreme leftists, and I'm not talking about Biden, although Biden could be pushed over probably by a swift breeze.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about these lunatics, these de Blasios, these Lightfoots.
Yes. Well, AOC.
I mean, they are lunatics.
Well, dude,
lunatics.
You and I also hold extreme political views, to be fair. We just don't expound them on a national stage. And if we did, we have just as much right, and that being said, we have just as much right to expound our extreme political views as they do. Now, if they can get a following and support for their views, hey, that's their right.
I'm just asking for two simple things.
Okay.
Leave me alone and let me live my life as I choose.
Oh, dude, those are two things they can't grant you. They're progressives. They want to be in your face. They want to tell you how to live a better life, and they want to have the authority to do so. Fuck.
Yeah, they call us fascist. But what they're doing, is that not fascist?
Well, it's project. Anytime anybody calls you anything, it's always projection. Freud taught us that. They're the ones with the problem. But because of that, I'm not going to accept their labels. You don't accept their labels. I don't accept their labels. And if they think they can get a huge following of Americans behind them, hey, go for it. See if you can do it. I don't think you're going to succeed because the heart of America is not there.
Well, I'm telling you where this came from.
Right.
Giving all the last 20 years, we've given kids a trophy just for participating.
Yes.
And the people who have gotten a trophy for participating are the generation that embrace this ideology.
Well, you're talking about the sense of entitlement that's been born into children and been raised here lately, and that's a sign of it. But it's a sign of American entitlement that we run the world. With the fall of the iron or the red curtain there, and the sole competitor disappearing. We've become complacent. We've become entitled, thinking that we own this place, and not through hard work, just because we were born that way, like we're kings or something. And that's not the American way either. But that's the progressives' way. And that's what the other side, those people who want to take our freedoms by veiling themselves as those that are going to tell you a better way and help you live a better life so you want to listen to us. But if you don't want to, you still have to listen to us anyway because we're the government. Yeah, that's not America either. That's the rest of the world. But it's up to you and I and Chabdog and everyone else to fight. We have to speak up and say this is called out for what it is. And this is, in my opinion, part of my language is bullshit.
I mean, all politicians suck. There's no more fucking compromise. It's become a total fucking joke.
There's been other times in our republic where we've had very difficult situations like this. Where there's been great partisanship and little compromise. And the pendulum I'm confident the pendulum will swing back. But you're right, that we are at one of those times right now.
I think the pendulum's broke. It's going to go all the way left. We're going to be in Red China in about 20 years.
And if that happens, what are you going to do about it?
Probably die in some sort of prison camp.
You wouldn't fight in the resistance?
Well, just for even speaking about it, you'll probably be put into a prison camp.
And if that's what's going to happen to you, what would they do to Portnoy?
They'll probably take things away. You're going to see. This is going to be a scary time. If AOC gets her power, she'll be canceling everyone.
True. Oh yeah.
She is the personification of cancel culture. She calls cancel culture the way of the future. She says it's the way to fight and bring down the enemy.
Oh, it is. Yeah, removing the memory. Rewriting history.
She's not into compromise. I can tell from the way she talks. She's not.
No.
She will be president in 2032.
Oh, tank.
Can you imagine?
And she'll hammer the death nail into the coffin of this country.
Well,
that'll be freaking ruthless.
If that happens, but that requires a radical swing that is not in the heart of Americans, dude.
Yeah.
Generation Z. Generation Z. She's her idol and hero.
All they have to do is repeat what happened in this election with weird stuff going on with the voting machines and not letting people see what's going on.
Oh, dude, it's a close election. Look, the Republicans stole it in 2000, and the Democrats stole it here. It's a close election. Close elections are stealable, and we know both sides have done it and throughout our history of the Republic. So this is, okay, so we'll just give it to them. You won. You stole it, whatever. You still won. You stole enough votes.
1960 was stolen.
1960, yes.
1960 was stolen.
I've read evidence of that on the annals of this show before. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this was really systemic. You can't let this ever happen again. I mean,
you can never let any of them happen again, but they still happen again. That's how our political system works. We steal close elections. That's how it goes. The Republicans stole it too. They didn't. They failed, and they failed. The Democrats outstole them.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens with the legal system.
So Frank, we had 2 anniversaries this week, yours and the Edmund Fitzgerald. Well, let's talk about yours first. What did you eat on your birthday day? Did you have a special meal?
I went out and had some pizza.
Oh, dude. Where's your go-to joint? What did you do?
I went to Ralph's Pizza in Belleville.
And what do you have on the pie?
With the guy I usually play mini golf with.
Okay.
There, he took me out to Ralph's Pizza in Belleville.
Is it the best pizza anywhere?
Yep. The only problem with Ralph's Pizza is they don't deliver.
Okay. That makes it even more special then, doesn't
They
it?
feel they don't have to deliver.
That's right.
They feel they don't have to deliver.
Mm-hmm. That's a real New York attitude. Entitled, huh? So entitled. You have to come and get our pizza.
What, Frank? What?
They're always crowded and packed too. So
Pizza
they must
Nazis.
be working.
They're pizza Nazis.
What did you get on your pizza? What's your favorite pizza?
I like the plain slices. I like the plain slices.
Okay, Tank, I know you, Tank. Yeah, he got nothing, Jab Dog. What, the raw doggin's going to put stuff on his pizza? No way.
Yeah, right.
Occasionally I might put pepperoni on, but that's about it.
Uh-huh.
You're not like me. I like anchovies.
Oh, me too. Yeah, Chab Dog and I, we
I
get
don't like fish.
He comes down, we get anchovies on our pizza. So, Tank, were you on WFAN this week?
Yes, I was.
How long were you on for?
About 10 minutes.
Nice. Did you talk Mets?
A little bit, yep.
So who would have thought? Did you ever think you'd be on, get 10 minutes on WFAN one day? Did you think this was going to come true?
It's a dream come true, yep.
Yeah.
I did the, a live stream on Thursday with Ralph in Belleville, noted Colts fan.
Oh, that's up your neighbor upstairs.
Yes.
I know, Ralph.
He must have been really happy with the outcome of the game on Thursday.
It's like a fucking parade sometimes. When you want to make a turn, it's like they come from both directions. And it's like I'm trying to swim upstream.
Oh, and you're loving it, dude. I can hear it in your voice. This is the culmination of decades of your life here, dude. You know that. This is fantastic.
All right, there we go. Finally.
Are you driving?
Trying to make a left turn in New Jersey sometimes is, yes, I am.
Multitasking as well. So, Tank, who's your pick with the Steelers today?
Frank?
Sorry?
Boy, Michigan, they're terrible. Jim Harbaugh he's going to start looking for moving companies and trying to find out if khakis and together.
Yeah, Michigan fans throwing real estate signs on his lawn as we speak in the snow.
Yeah,
Farmington.
I'm in there.
I tried to get out to a laundromat. All of them are fucking packed this morning.
Oh.
Yeah, so much for COVID lockdown.
Today's laundry day.
There was someone there that has 8 kids, and they're all using old chairs, and standing there. And then she has she grabbed a cart, and she put all her laundry. She's actually using dryers and washers. She's folding clothes while having the dryer open, and people are around her. She says, "No, you don't get around me. You don't get around me." And then she put the one clothes in each dryer. So she's using 21 dryers and 7 washing machines.
Wait, is she rich or something? Where's she got these coins from? The car wash?
She has the New Jersey free laundry card.
Oh, you're fucked. I didn't realize that. You have to go up against people with free laundry cards?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you're fucked. No wonder you can't get your clothes cleaned. Oh, you're screwed. Yeah, they just collect those cards and run. Yeah, but, I mean, mind you, she's got 8 kids, but...
And she said that then someone came running with a truck and dropped off another 17 loads.
Hey, Tech. Speaking of Clem put up this film this week where you go, fuck a garbage truck. But of course
you what you would call.
I
mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, why does someone have to bring all their kids out to laundry? These kids are bored. They don't want to sit them down.
Well, imagine them cooped up in a one-room apartment, dude. Yeah, she's got 8 kids in a one-bedroom, of course. I mean, bring them to the laundromat. Were they all wearing masks?
There's half of them were.
Okay, at least half. Geez, doesn't everybody wear a mask at all times in your area?
Yeah.
In public?
But some of the shit, like little kids.
Well, okay, if you're... Yeah, little kids don't have to. At least that's what the science is telling us. So, Tank, Clem put up a film this week of you saying, fuck a garbage truck. Do you remember that?
Yeah, doing a video where I was making, pancakes.
Right.
And as I was getting ready to eat it and test this syrup out, all I hear is... I mean, the garbage trucks around here, they're so loud.
Yeah, what Clem was referencing was your response to DeGrom handing the ball over to the Mets bullpen. That's the kind of sound you make when that happens too, isn't it?
That about does say it.
Yeah, those are the good old days, though. Let's hope that goes away with the new Cohen administration here. He's doing some great things this week, wasn't
he? Yep. And then I have this guy in my apartment complex who has a motorcycle.
Oh, yeah.
4:30 in the fucking morning every day. And he revs it up for like 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. He's got to warm it up, man.
And you're on the ground floor, so you hear everything, I'm sure.
It all echoes into his place. Doesn't matter. Windows open, windows closed.
And I look at the guy, and I look at the guy. He looks like the dictionary definition of white supremacist. With all the tattoos.
He's walking the Presario Canario.
You really like him, huh, Frank?
You see, both sides. They hate all assholes.
Yeah. How do you know if he's a white supremacist or not? I mean, you shouldn't be guilt by his appearance.
That's stereotyping, Tank. You're stereotyping.
Does he have clothes that indicate that he's part of the Proud Boys or something?
Tattoos?
Lots of tattoos.
Okay.
Lots and lots of tattoos.
He doesn't have the number 88 tattooed on him anywhere, does he?
I think he does.
Oh, okay. Well, then that he's identified where he stands. All right. You are correct.
He must have a crazy big beard, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably.
I think he also has one of the tattoos he has. I don't know if he has the 88 for sure, but I think I saw the Confederate flag on his the back of his shoulder. Because he walks around in a tank top.
Oh, of course, a wife beater.
Okay, yeah. Great. He's got a Confederate flag on one and the swastika on the other.
Well, 88. Yeah.
Oh.
Let's do a whip around here on this week's games here.
We're getting towards now 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
let's get through the picks.
Okay, so the aforementioned Pittsburgh at home against Cincinnati. Pittsburgh 7.5.
I think the Bengals cover.
Yeah, I'm going backdoor cover here too, but Pittsburgh will win. Chabdog?
The Bengals have been good at covering. Not necessarily winning, but they've been good at covering.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Well, I'll go with Pittsburgh anyway. I think they're going to win, but I picked them to win by 10, so I guess I got to stick with.
They'll win by like 4 or 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5. That's what I'm thinking. 5.5. At the game nobody wants to watch and nobody cares in Detroit, the Wolves are playing, and Detroit's a 3.5-point home favorite.
Lions.
Oh, they're playing. What's the WTFs? Okay. Yeah, go with the Lions.
And
you know what should be straight up? You know what should be classified as straight up torture?
Other than that game, what?
Watching any games involving two teams from the NFC East.
Yeah, that's the next worst thing.
Yeah, we always get those games on Monday night.
Yeah.
Or Thursday night.
Yeah.
But Alex Smith is playing today, so that could be But I don't know. He didn't look that great the last time I saw him. He's probably pretty tentative.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, is Matt Stafford playing?
Yes. Not that you noticed, but yes.
Okay.
Anyway.
Detroit should win that by touchdown.
Sure. Next up, we have.
Yeah, if Detroit doesn't win, it's about time to start thinking about coaching change there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably should have done it last year, but it's Martha Ford. Remember Martha Ford with her gizzard neck?
Matt Patricia out by his beard.
Mm-hmm. Cleveland is at home hosting Houston. Cleveland's got 3-point favorite.
3? Just 3?
Only 3.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cleveland.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Browns.
Okay. We're all on our
Definitely
Browns
gonna
there.
go with Browns.
And then we have Green Bay, 13.5-point favorite at home against Jacksonville.
Yeah, they got a gift from God there. Green Bay really needed that. Needed to welcome in the Jacksonville jokes.
13.5 though.
The Jaguars might get a backdoor cover, but that's going to be Packers all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Packers. What the hell?
I'll think
because the Packers will win that game by at least 10 points.
At least. But I don't think once they get over 10 points, they're not going to care. And Jacksonville will just get landlocked.
That's the only way. That's the only way that they have the Packers have a chance to actually cover.
All right. Well, I'll take Jacksonville on the backdoor cover. And now we have the dreaded NFC East game. The best worst team of the NFC East, Philadelphia, on the road against the hapless New York Giants. The De Blasio
the Giants
Giants.
are going to win that game.
Yeah,
the Giants are going to win that game.
You're on drugs. What are you talking about? Why? How are the Giants going to win that game? Philadelphia wins this, they go 500, man. Philly's got more at stake here.
The Giants are going to win that game. They almost won in Philadelphia last month. The Giants are going to win that game.
Are you Nostradamus or something? You got some evidence?
Giants are going to win that game. The Giants are going to win that game, and you're going to have 3 teams in that division with 3 wins.
Oh, that sucks.
For first place, basically.
That's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
No, Philly's going to win and differentiate themselves as the best worst. But okay. Then we have Tampa Bay.
I go with the Giants too. I'm all with Tank on that one.
The national game on Fox is Tampa Bay with Carolina. At Carolina, Tampa Bay, a 5.5-point favorite.
Oh, I hate
Buccaneers
Carolina.
Bounced back from that. Buccaneers bounced back from that just terrible game last week.
Oh, that was a train
That might have
wreck.
been the worst game that Tom Brady ever played.
I mean, he looked like he couldn't have cared less about what was going on. He looked totally out of it.
He's throwing in
Tom Brady looked like Michigan yesterday.
Hey, yeah, there we are. There's a connection there.
I mean,
I'll take the Bucks too.
That's Brian from SportsRock. He's
Brian
joined
on?
us.
We got Brian on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Brian.
All right, can we hurry up? I got things to do.
Okay, we got things to do too, Tank. Let's go Vegas, Denver. In Vegas, Vegas 5-point favorite.
Oh,
what are you playing?
Vegas.
To play the Broncos?
Broncos, yeah.
I don't know.
5 points. I'm taking Denver.
Yeah, 5 points seems like a little rich for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like any situation where we're giving Vegas a lot of points.
Yep.
A big favorite.
Even at home. Division game.
I go with Denver.
Right. Brian?
To cover that.
I got the Raiders on that one.
That's
I
right.
also got the Giants too, by the way.
Okay. All right. You're on that bandwagon. Arizona is at home, 1.5, and favored by 1.5 over Buffalo. This is going to be a meeting of a couple of great quarterbacks here.
I like the Cardinals today.
Yeah, I'm on the Cardinals too. Take the home team.
I do too.
Uh-huh.
God. Really?
Yeah.
Buffalo's got a couple of players that that are in COVID protocol.
Okay, that must be why. Otherwise, Buffalo should be favored here.
All right, I'll take.
No, actually, they're about on par.
Mm-hmm.
They're on par, these teams.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was in Buffalo, Buffalo would be favored.
Buffalo is favored in this game?
No, Arizona home favorite at 1.5.
Like
Buffalo's
how
got to
much?
travel. Buffalo's traveling here.
1.5?
1.5.
They're really not that good. I mean,
dude, give us the pick.
Buffalo.
Okay. This one's probably more difficult. The Rams are at home against Seattle, and the Rams are a 1.5-point favorite.
Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks, but guys, the Rams usually have the Seahawks number, and they are divisional. They will win one of these games. I'm taking
going
Seahawks.
with the Rams.
Okay.
Seahawks.
I'm not a Seahawks believer.
New Orleans is a 9-point home favorite over San Francisco. Tank, is San Francisco just completely decimated?
Completely decimated, completely finished. Saints are going to win that one by 20.
Wow.
Really? Who's the quarterback for the Niners? Is it Garoppolo, or is he still hurt?
He's out.
He might be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're pretty much punchless. They're just helpless. They're like baby seals. I think you have
it's
to go
the
with
Saints.
Yeah, I'm staying away from the Niners. I got burned by them last week.
Yeah, that's why I'm doubling down on the Niners because they burned me, and I'm going for a backdoor cover here. I think New Orleans just won't care, and they'll let San Francisco come back, but it'll be too little, too late. But it'll be enough to cover 9. Baltimore is going to beat the shit out of New England today. In New England, and Baltimore is only a 7-point favorite.
The Patriots are lucky to win on Monday. Cam Newton can't throw the ball 20 yards.
Well, they stole that game.
No.
I mean, the only reason they won on Monday is because the Jets are an XFL team.
They're worse.
The Jets are the Jets.
And they played, and look how close they played them. So yeah, it's Baltimore, a good defense here. They're going to beat the snot out of. This is going to be ugly. It's going to be Sunday Night Football. The nation's going to
Ravens big.
That'll really be kind of fun to see the Ravens beat the shit out of the Patriots at home.
The bad body language, the hoodie is going to be shooting off. The wave, you'll be able to see the waves of violence through the TV. He's just the hostile body language.
I was a Patriots fan.
That's going to be worth it right there. Just turn off the sound and just watch the hostile waves go across.
Nose is rubbed in it.
I don't think they'll make the playoffs the way they're going.
No, they won't have a chance. These guys are gone. Oh, and Tank, Miami's playing the Chargers today out here in L.A. Are you going to take Miami? They're a 2.5-point road favorite.
No, actually, game's in Miami.
Oh, sorry.
The game's actually in Miami.
Yeah, my mistake. It is Miami. I misread that.
Go Dolphins. I'm all into the Dolphins.
The Chargers always find a way to lose.
That's right. That's why I'm taking them today, because I think they'll figure it out, and Miami will.
They're on cloud 9 with the Dolphins' resurgence.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, there are a lot of things that don't make sense, and one of the things that don't make sense is why the fuck the Chargers are in Los Angeles.
Oh, it should be St. Louis instead. Where should they be?
Afterthought.
It should be in San Diego. And on Monday night.
Just wait until they get fans back in the seats. Just wait until they get back to the fans in the seats. They're going to have more road. They're going to be playing. They're going to be more fans for the road team every week once fans are back.
Yeah, but if I'm the Spanos family, do I care? I don't care who's buying a ticket. All I care is the seats sold.
They don't seem to fucking care.
No.
They don't seem to fucking care.
I actually got to see a game back in about 2005 or so. Chargers at the stadium there.
Yeah. Jack Murphy?
Yeah.
The Murph?
Jack Murphy. Yeah. It didn't look that bad to me, but I guess compared to all the other modern stadiums.
Yeah.
And they're getting ready to tear that stadium down. The stadium's getting torn down.
Yeah. They're going to build a better college stadium on the site. Bizarre.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, Minnesota against Chicago. The Bears are quickly fading. Minnesota in Chicago, and the Vikings are a 2.5-point road favorite.
I see the Vikings as one of the top second-half teams.
Bears are going to win the game. Bears are going to win the game. Kirk Cousins used to be a Redskin. And you know what the Redskins used to do on Monday Night Football?
Yeah, they choke viciously.
Kirk Cousins is one of the worst quarterbacks statistically in the history of Monday Night Football. That's going to continue. He's going to throw 5 interceptions tomorrow, and the Bears are going to win.
All right, I'm taking the Bears anyway, but that's good. You got good analysis there. I'm taking it because I'm Nostradamus, but I like Frank's actually got logical reasons there.
I'm taking the Vikings because they got Cook going again. So,
all right, you're the tiebreaker here.
Kirk Cousins doesn't play good on Monday Night Football.
No, he does not. He's horrible. I had to suffer through all those Monday nights. He was my quarterback too. Ugh, what a horrible way to end the Redskin
guys,
era.
I'll see you guys next week.
The great Frank Fleming. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you. That was Frank Fleming, Sports Tech, Barstool Sports. All right, well, we're going to go to our break, and we'll be back with the...
We're told that greatness is...
Oh, sorry. We're going to have our break, you say?
Second half, okay?
Okay.
Eric, play that clip. Play something for 8 minutes. I don't care what it is.
Got it. Don't go away. We got more coming up here on the Chav Dog Sports Talk Radio Show.
We're told that greatness is exceptional, when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit DefyLifeGear.com to get fitted for greatness.
The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Like Chav Dog said, he was 100% right.
He can take all comers.
Thank you very much. Boy, what a crowd, huh? Now, I tell you, I'm all right now, but last week I was in rough shape, you know? Yeah, last week my wife signed me up for a bridge club. I jump off next Tuesday. I mean, last week nothing went right. I bought a waterbed. There were 2 Cuban guys swimming in it looking for Florida. Oh, well. And last week I went to the track, too. That was a beauty. I shot off the opening gun. They killed my horse. I'll tell you, nothing works out. My car broke down again. I got a car, I got nothing but trouble. Every Sunday I take my family out for a push. The last time my wife drove the car, she cracked it up, went into a tree. Told me it wasn't her fault. She blew the horn. My wife isn't too smart, you know. One night she went out, some guy stole the car. I said to her, just see what he looked like. She told me she got the license plate number. Oh, she's not smart at all. I told her our kid is spoiled. She told me a lot of kids smell that way, you know. I tell you, it's tough to stay married to my wife. How do you think I feel? She kissed the dog on her lips and she won't drink from my glass. I mean, there's always my wife's father, he just moved in too, has electronic pacemaker. Every time he sneezes, the garage door opens. I tell you, life isn't easy. My psychiatrist told me I'm going crazy. I said to him, if you don't mind, I'd like a second opinion. He said, all right, you're ugly too. Are you kidding? I know I'm ugly. Halloween, I open the front door, kids give me candy. My My dog found out we look alike. He killed himself. I was an ugly kid, too. I worked in a pet store. People kept asking how big I get. I'm too fast for this whole section over here. And I was ugly in my sandbox. The cat kept covering me up all the time, you know? You know, what a childhood I had. My mother never breastfed me. She told me she liked me as a friend. Kids today is different. They got it too good. They don't appreciate it either. Last Christmas, my kid wanted a BB gun. I gave him a BB gun. He gave me a sweatshirt with a bullseye in the back. Smart kid I got. The other day, I told him about the birds and the bees. He told me about my wife and a butcher. I tell you, my whole life is pressure. Nothing but pressure. This pressure is like a heaviness, always on top of me, this heaviness, since I'm a kid. Other people wake up in the morning, new day, up and at 'em. I wake up, the heaviness is right there waiting for me. And sometimes I even talk to it, and I say, hi, heaviness. And the heaviness looks back at me, today you're going to get it good, you know. We'll be drinking early today. And I don't want to drink, I'm a bad drinker. When I drink the next day, I got to do two things. I try and locate my car, and I got to bring back the car I took. I'm a bad. You know the trouble with me? I appeal to everyone who can do me absolutely no good. With me, nothing comes easy. I met the Surgeon General. He offered me a cigarette. I mean, that's the story of my life. No respect. I don't get no respect at all. Do you kidding? This afternoon, I was at BB2 this afternoon. I was in a bar. They told me to get out. They wanted to start the happy hour. I mean, it's not easy being me. Well, last week my house was on fire. My wife told the kids, be quiet. You wake up daddy. Now, but I tell you, I finally got some respect. They asked me here tonight, you know. And I tell you, I'm surprised I'm here. I mean, I voted for Randolph Scott.
And that, of course, was the great Rodney Dangerfield on the Chab Dog Sports Talk radio show.
Yes.
He's the best.
4 minutes of solid rapping Rodney.
Rapping Rodney.
And we have Brian Keller. Brian Keller joined us, time to make his introduction. He came in just at the end of the first hour there. Got his football picks in on time. Thank you for checking in, Brian.
Yeah, no problem, guys. There was a couple. I don't know if I captured. Let me see. Look here. Da-da-da. Oh, yeah. I got Browns. I got Washington. I got Packers. And, of course, I got Steelers.
At 7.5?
Oh.
Yep.
You're brave.
So, explain the Washington pick. You're actually picking Washington?
That's my team.
Still?
Live or die.
Yeah. Your team disappeared, dude.
They're not terrible, you know, and they're in the right division.
They're a terrible team in a terrible division.
Well,
they got Alex Smith going for him today, so maybe that'll be enough.
Yeah, Alex Smith is one hit away from retirement.
I know.
Are you watching any golf, Brian?
I'm not a watcher. I follow. Let's see that with the DJs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dustin Johnson's in. He's in the lead. Would this be his first major?
I don't think it's his first major, but his first master. Yeah.
Oh, did he win? Maybe he won the U.S. Open before.
I'm not sure. It seems to me that he did win something.
Yeah,
I can look that up. Let's see. I saw that Tiger is pretty much out of it.
Is par. Yeah, he's putting right now for par, and he sinks it. All right. He is
Johnson. Let's see what Johnson
1 under today.
Johnson's 17 under. Wow. Let's see. Where's he at here? Yeah, 2016 U.S. Open.
So we're you got a leaderboard there?
Yeah, I had it here. Johnson. Let's see. It says Thursday.
Touchdown Panthers. Oh yeah, yeah. Tom Brady's going to be.
Yeah, the Giants had it too. Let's see.
You take the Patriots, Chabdog?
It shows Johnson 17 under right now.
Mm-hmm.
Total 1 under today. Yeah, 1 under so far.
So if he's 17 under, what's Tiger?
Where you at, Tiger? He's even.
Oh no. Yeah, I saw 1 under, and I thought that must have been maybe that was just the hole he was playing, but he played for birdie, so he's even. Wow. So he's way off the mark.
Yeah, he's tied for 43rd.
Oh.
Let's see.
That's ugly.
There's Smith, Cameron Smith is second.
Well, they don't allow a woman to play that course, do they?
What's that?
I didn't think they allowed women to play that course, Brian.
I'm Sung Jae. He's in third.
Mm-hmm.
I was just reading about somebody today. Oh, it was a birthday. One of the gals. What was it? The Spanish girl. What was her name?
Carmen Electra?
Yeah, Carmen Electra. Could be, I don't know. There was, what's it? I just posted this.
Yeah, Jennifer Lopez.
There we go.
What's the other actress? In the Pedro Almodovar film.
Ochoa. She only played from 2003 to 2010, retired at age 28. She had won $4 million 1 year, for first woman to ever win over $4 million in a season, 2007. 2010, she said, yeah, my plan was to play 10 years, become number one, and that's all she wrote.
Mm-hmm.
She was number one for like 158 weeks.
Wow. And we never heard about it.
Yeah,
who was number one for that long?
Ochoa. What's her name?
Ochoa.
Let's see.
Ochoa. Sounds like a perfect guest on the show, Chabdog. See if you can get her on.
Lorena Ochoa Reyes, Mexican-born professional golfer.
Oh,
top-ranked female for, yeah, she was 158 consecutive weeks, which was an LPGA record. And
I don't remember that.
Retired at the age of 28. She basically played for 10 years and said that's enough. She was big news back to 2007.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's bizarre. Here, I've got something here. Here's President-elect Joe Biden speaking.
Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Secondly,
so we all know what he means. He means that he put together the best one to go after it. He didn't put together the best fraud system. We know that, right? I mean, that's
left out a few words there, I think.
we can't take him literally, can we?
That.
I mean, we don't. That's not what he means. I mean, we'll give Uncle Joe a pass on that, won't we?
They've got a voter fraud administration. Is that what he's saying?
Well, they have the best top voter fraud organization.
Yeah. The best anti-fraud.
No, well, that's what he should have said, but he missed saying the word anti. So we're left to fill in the blanks for Joe.
Yeah.
Which we do, because we know what he means. We know what we mean, Joe.
Yeah, speaking of impressions, we have plenty of those that you could do.
Frank Gorshin.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's the Riddler from the original Batman series.
Thank
you.
It's
among other things. That's, I know Frank from that, because I grew up watching Frank on Batman.
A round window before. I feel like I'm underwater. I expect to see fish. Anyway, Frank Gorse is my name. I'm not going to do any impressions tonight because Maurice LaMarche is on the show, and I will. Now, people have always asked me, how do you do it? How do you do impressions? Do you stand in front of a mirror? Do you use a tape recorder? You go to a lot of movies, you know. Well, what I do is I stand in front of a mirror, I use a tape recorder, and I go to a lot of movies. I do all those things. If that doesn't work, then I call Rich Little and say, hey, Rich, how do you do that? Or Maurice LaMarche, hey, Maurice, how do you do that? I don't know how I do them or why I do them, but when I was a kid in high school, I used to work as an usher in a movie theater. I got to see movies over and over again. I just find myself doing these people. And I'd do them for the folks that came in for seats. If there was a gangster picture playing and a couple came in, I'd say, all right, the three of us are going down this aisle, but only one of us is coming back. You dirty rat. Or if it was a spooky picture, just follow me and I'll put you in a nice box. Yes. Good evening. Let me introduce myself. I'm Count Dracula. I'm going to kiss you on the varicose vein. Or if it was... If it was a Western, well, you just follow me. We got to go through this field, but watch out for all that caca. If it was a romantic comedy, yes, I've got seats for you down in front, at the back, upstairs, downstairs, in the middle, any way you'd like. Just walk right this way. Jude. It happened when Kiss of Death was playing with Richard Whitmark. I was working the balcony. And an elderly lady in a wheelchair came in. I'm a big man.
Woodmark.
I pushed her right down the stairs. 9 flights. She just kept rolling.
Richard Woodmark.
Violent beginnings. That's how I got to be everybody I am today. Because of movies. All my life I've loved movies. To this day, I'm crazy.
The great Frank Gorshin. Isn't he fantastic?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you thinking, Rich Little?
The most fantastic thing I heard was Rich Little doing Humphrey Bogart. And
yeah, we got Rich here.
That's in
Rich Little.
Chabdog, I lost the minute mark. Where does he do?
He does Humphrey Bogart around 14 minutes towards the end.
14. This is a 5:45 clip.
Well, then it's the next clip.
Oh, the Tonight Show. Okay.
Regis.
Who is
Dean Martin?
Okay, that's a good one too, by the way. 14. Okay. Yeah, I see where we are here. Oh, this is a classic. 1973 Tonight Show.
That's funny. You get fantastic reaction in the clubs, and.
Oh, yeah.
But you do a pretty good impression of Tommy Newsom.
You do Newsom. Just no, you
Two
go ahead.
Tommy Newsoms talking to each other. All right.
Okay.
I'll make sure I didn't screw it up.
Fortunately, he could never find his damn crayons.
That's where you are, eh? Nixon?
If you let it go at 14, it'll catch it.
For the past couple of weeks,
okay,
Mr. Nixon's been working with Bob Hope.
Well, hold on.
And Bob's been helping the president with his, see how I goof like you? that little trip? That took 2 weeks to get that. No, he's been working with Bob Hope for the past couple of weeks.
He's imitating Johnny here.
Here is the brand new president of the United States after only 2 weeks' work.
Doesn't he sound like Carson?
Sounds like Johnny.
I know.
And then
That's not Johnny.
Nixon comes out.
Oh, he's walking like Nixon. Facial expressions. Dead ringer.
says Richard, how I love to be President Nixon. I want to tell you, my fellow Americans, I just got back from Hollywood where I was working on a new motion picture. It's called Planet of the Tapes. But I want to tell you...
Oh, Johnny Carson's smoking a cigarette.
He was going to write the screenplay, but unfortunately he could never find his damn crayons. But I want to tell you... And that just goes on. I love this bit.
Carson's in stitches.
But you do a pretty good impression of Tommy Newsom. You do Newsom. Just you go ahead. Tommy Newsoms talking to each other, all right?
Okay.
I don't get that. I think they're doing a mirror act or something there.
You got to do 30 seconds of Bogart doing the thing about the strawberries.
Oh, shit.
What, has he ever done that?
No,
Ever?
no, I never have, and I'm not going to do it
There was a time about a year ago, every night he was going to do that bit, and I kept tuning in.
Well, the trouble is I would see you do it on a show, and I said I'm not even going to get near it, as long as Little is still doing the bit.
I tried to run this ship properly, but they fought me at every turn. They were all against me. Take the broken tow line, defective equipment, no more, no less. But they encouraged the crew to scoff at me and to circulate wild stories. I was to blame for Mr. Merrick's poor seamanship and incompetence. But the strawberries. I asked for the strawberries. They laughed at me, but I proved beyond a shadow of a doubt and with geometric logic and deduction that the duplicate key to the water icebox did exist. And I'd have produced that key if they hadn't pulled the cane out of action. Mr. Merrick was the perfect officer, but not Captain Queek. But the strawberries. They laughed at me, but I proved beyond a shadow of a doubt and with geometric logic and deduction that the duplicate key to the wardroom icebox did exist. And I'd have produced that key. Naturally, I could only recall these things from memory. If you ask me specific questions, I'll tackle them one by one.
Oh, that's great.
That's why I don't do it.
Great, Rich Little. Thank you, Chab Dog.
Yeah, I'm glad you found that. That's just.
You guys remember David Fry?
Yeah, the Eagles.
He made a career of David Fry. He made a career of doing Richard Nixon during his term.
Really, David Fry.
He was pretty much. He pretty much did Nixon and Johnson were his main go-tos. I had one of his. I had a record
I have
of
to
his.
check that out. He's probably on YouTube, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They have a little. Well, there's a little. One little passage here where Johnson meets Nixon when Nixon's ready to come in. Johnson says, "I'll get it, Lady Bird. Who's there?" He goes, "It's Dick and Pat." Johnson says, "It's Pick and Pat." He says, "No, it's Dick and Pat, the president-elect and Mrs.-elect." He goes, "Company, Lady Bird, beautify yourself." They just put that little snippet on there. But yeah, he was.
Yeah, I'd like to hear him do LBJ. You know.
Here he is doing Nixon.
Yeah, he did both.
Milhouse Nixon.
1968.
The polls say I'm ahead. I hope it's just not one of those Polish jokes. And let me just say this. A lot of people have said that I do not like Lyndon Johnson. I worship the quicksand this man walks on. And I don't have anything against Governor Rockefeller and his wife Happy and their future children Dopey, Sneezy, and Grumpy.
Yeah, okay. I'll see if I can find him doing LBJ.
That was David Fry.
Yeah, David Fry.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's a little different than than Rich Little's voice.
Oh yeah,
I can tell the difference.
Here he is doing a short clip of him doing Johnson.
It's definitely not for my Peace Corps.
That's it.
My fellow Americans, I come here tonight with a heavy heart. We must do something to end the problems in this great land of ours. So I have decided to take the following step.
Yeah, that's dead ringer for Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Johnson was an interesting character. Not enough attention may have been devoted to his life. He got a lot accomplished, and
Doris Kearns,
pretty interesting person.
Robert Caro wrote a 4-volume set about him.
Yeah, I know. He's just kind of faded into the background, but it was very important in our political history. And
I would put
that
forward
was that crazy time there in the mid to late 60s.
I mean, he's faulted for Vietnam, obviously, and that kind of affects his legacy a lot. But he got a lot done.
Yeah, I will put forth that today's Democratic heart beats from the Lyndon Johnson legacy of the Great Society. Except that he had the leadership for the Great Society. And if it wasn't for that Vietnam War, Democrats thought they could fix the world, so they thought they could go into Vietnam as well. I mean, this wasn't, Ike didn't take us into Vietnam. He wanted nothing to do with it. It was the Democrats who took us in there in the 1950s.
Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it started in Kennedy's, but then Johnson kind of escalated it.
Yeah, Ike was pretty. I mean, he said a lot of things to caution us against wars, even though he was a general.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we were in Korea for a while.
That was a police action. And if the Chinese hadn't gotten involved, it wouldn't have been an issue. It would have been settled. There would have been a united Korea. We wouldn't have had all this difficulty, and those people in North Korea wouldn't have, have to be eating each other, eating sand, eating dirt, and being malnourished and living in horrible conditions, if not for China. But that's history, dude.
Yep.
Like General Eisenhower, I would have stopped that too. It's too bad he pulled back MacArthur. MacArthur wanted to use tactical nuclear weapons on them. That would have stopped him.
Yeah, that's right.
But that would have
been. Somebody else
was
for that in Vietnam too. Somebody wanted that.
Barry Goldwater.
Somebody said they should just wanted to bomb the shit out of Hanoi.
Mm-hmm. That would have ended it real quick too. We used Agent Orange instead.
Yeah, Barry Goldwater, he was in that Dean Martin roast too, with the one that I posted about Sammy Davis Jr. He was on that one.
Yeah, we had him on last week.
Yeah, he's got a good delivery for a guy that's real kind of stoic, but you can tell he knows what he's doing when he's on up there.
Yeah, he's a showman.
Telling jokes.
Mm-hmm. So, Brian, the Rams in Seattle today, we very quickly touched on that. You're taking Seattle. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I would have probably taken the Rams if they had just looked a little better. There's just something missing there. Like, I was looking at their offense it's not very good. That was supposed to be their strong points. Now, Seattle is up and down, but I think they are due for an up. Yeah, the Rams Rams just don't have the magic they haven't so far.
Well, the Rams, they're just a weird team. They can put together pretty good games. Well, but you just can't count on them week to week. But we'll see. Seattle to me doesn't. I don't know. They've lost some of their magic.
Yeah, them too. So
not offensively, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they're Russell Wilson can take that whole team on his shoulders and carry them through this. The Rams can't. They don't have that. They don't have that player. That's the difference. Is that one player?
Yeah, Goff doesn't do that.
No.
Goff had that great season. Then ever since they lost that Super Bowl, I think they exposed him or something.
Yep. He's a one-trick pony. That offense is a one-trick pony. Everyone's figured it out, and they have not been able to develop new and ways to use the tools they have. So the innovation's over. And the Rams are going down.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the offensive line, the Rams has to kind of take control, and they can. Then it helps Goff a lot. But so that's the key thing. I think.
Touchdown.
Yeah, they're good enough for a playoff team, but that's about as far as they get.
Touchdown, Carolina. You know, in between Brady scored, so it was 7-7. But now Carolina just broke that.
Yeah, what's going on with the Bucs defense? Is not looking very good lately.
Yeah, the Buck offense.
Giants up 14-3.
Yay, Giants. I'm sure I took the Giants. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I took Philly. What am I talking about? Geez, you guys are all conspiring against me.
We took the Giants. I think you took Philly, right?
It's like you want the NFC East to fail. I mean, do you really want a sub-500 team to make the playoffs? Come on, guys.
Matter of no.
Like, are you looking for society to fall apart? You're betting against it? You're betting against us?
I just know
Betting against society.
It's time to buy gold, gentlemen. Physical gold. Get your survival packs ready. A team that has a sub-500 record is going to make the NFL playoffs.
There it is, 7-7 Bucs, Carolina. Yep.
So, Brian, it's a really close election. Are you willing to declare a winner?
Election. Yeah, well, we know Biden got the votes. We got everything. O'Donnell is fun to watch. It's interesting.
So,
to be defiant to the end.
Under the circumstances, given that it is so close and that mandatory recounts have to happen anyway, do you think the sitting president should concede, or do you think he has a position to say, I'm not going to give it until I get the proper info?
Oh, he has every right to say, it's not official. It hasn't been officially declared, or whatever they call it, certified.
Certified.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may not be in good taste to do so, but he could. Yeah, he's within his power to do what he's doing. Wouldn't you say? I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, he has every right to, say, okay, let's wait till something official. And even then, does he have to concede? I mean, I don't think that's protocol, but it's not required.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have to do anything. Once the election's certified, the process will just sweep him away.
Yep.
As it will do any president, for that matter, into his next life.
It's just a bit disturbing that there are so many of the Republicans that still are just right behind him, no matter what. It's in front of their eyes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's 40% of the American public that have been his core base from the beginning. It's a large number.
Yeah. I know that, and the voting was insane. I posted it. It was like Biden was nearly 79 million, and Trump was like 73 million.
I know.
Both
I know.
records.
Both
has
records.
Anybody even really checked to make sure that number is even possible? Like, how many? I guess it probably is.
250 million eligible voters, I read. So that's over 100. That's over 100. That's over 150 million.
Yeah.
So far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
All right.
So we're well within the margins.
But I mean, we know. Well, we know that there's things wrong with the voter rolls that were never fixed, and that's always the case.
That's in every election. And there's false votes made in every election, and there's votes lost in every election, and that happens in every election. So it doesn't seem like there was any more or less than any other election in terms of those abnormalities that occur, and none en masse that can be proven.
And then somebody said, even if there is in proprietaries, it would never be enough to make any difference.
Precisely.
You know? And even Biden could even lose a couple of states and still come out on top.
Yeah, it's still in all likelihood.
He can't lose Pennsylvania and then a combination of a few others. So
it's unlikely he will, but if he did, yeah, that would be ironic.
And the last I heard, Philadelphia or Pennsylvania was thrown out court. I mean, basically, the only one that still mattered that had any possibility, I think, was Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's only because they're in a mandatory recount period, so they're going to do a hand recount because they're within their margin. Just amazing how close it was, though. I mean, that says a lot, how the tipping point here.
Yeah, like I said, the turnout is just incredible.
Mm-hmm. It was for both sides. So it's back to, even though there's a tipping point, it's still happening, even though there's a lot of support on his side, a lot of support for Republican candidates. But there was just that little bit more that pushed over the Democrats. And, in a normal age, we're being able to get back to normal politicians running things. Yeah, it's just that's slightly more appealing than having some wildcat out there.
They got those two runoffs in Georgia.
Yeah.
Could make or break the Senate, too.
Well, that keeps the election in play, so it still isn't over.
Yeah.
And so they're fighting hard. Yeah, they don't want to give up on that either, and that puts extra pressure on the voters in Georgia to make sure they turn out again. We'll see what happens. I mean, maybe the Democrats will rally just to be able to turn that, just to make a firm message to say, no, we won the presidency and we're going to win the Senate too. So this is a big fight.
Yeah.
They'd have to get
and obviously, with all that support and backing Trump has, it could be kind of nasty there for a while, I'm thinking, because if people won't accept it, and they'll be bitching and whining about everything the Democrats do.
Well, yeah, the same way the Democrats were whining the moment that Trump got inaugurated. I mean, hello, we're used to that. They can't do anything.
Oh yeah.
We know different here. Now, tell me what your thoughts are about having a democratically controlled Senate. Is that a good thing?
Oh, I like balance of power.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you,
mm-hmm.
I like balance of power. It would, I would prefer balance. Just to be fair, and the Democrats actually lost a few seats in the House, but not enough to make a difference yet. But I think that balance. I would rather see a balance.
Now, mind you, when Trump was inaugurated for 2 years, he had the House and the Senate, and they got sweet all done.
Yeah.
So, if we give it to the Democrats, part of me is saying let them have it and let's see what they can do.
I don't see anything majorly negative about one or the other controlling.
Uh-huh.
But
I see some potential positives because maybe they'd be able to get some things done.
That's true.
Like proper immigration reform. Maybe they'll get this birther thing, or not birther thing. The Dreamer thing, the Dream Act passed. Maybe they'll get proper health care provisions passed, or maybe Medicare for all, which is really the proper solution.
Yeah. Now, I've heard Biden doesn't seem to be thrilled about Medicare for all type approach, but
tough luck. He's got to deal with Bernie now. Bernie's the puppet master.
100% Obamacare, obviously.
Yeah, which still doesn't give protection for all.
Tweak that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It requires state programs to fill in. Like in California, we've got Medi-Cal, which will give care to all, which is great, and that's it's really how it should be, guys. People shouldn't have to be wondering.
Yeah. I gotta look into that myself here to see if I might qualify at all, because I'm going to be without health care since my wife was my employer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be getting Social Security starting next month.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's one thing you definitely want to look into there.
My age, I'm going to make enough to make up for my lost income there, but I was getting extra money for my wife, her SSI, that I'm not going to get.
Well, you get the survivors. You get the survivors benefit and the survivors pension, correct?
No, she didn't make enough points.
Oh, jeez.
She only worked for about 4.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I get a $250 for her burial, I guess.
Yeah, it's been years, obviously, since they changed that amount. It's that I think that's the number they did 30 or 40 years ago.
I know that's pretty ridiculous to me. You'd think you should get entitled to a nice one-time, something fair for the survivor.
At least enough for a cremation society.
I was lucky enough to do that. I qualified for aid, and I got $400 for her cremation. I got to pay them back $10 a month at minimum.
Okay, that's That's in recent years, a lot of places will work that out. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was nice. I found out about. So I said I'll be taking a cut, but it's going to be enough to stay where I'm at.
Oh, thank goodness! I was kind of wanting to ask that question, but not wanting to get too sensitive here. That's really good to hear. Yeah, especially after a big disruption like that, the last thing you want to do is move. You got enough things to deal with as it is, right?
Oh, yeah. So I really wasn't even financially prepared for a move, just to be honest. But, it's cool. It's cool. I'll sit here in Banning in this little two-bed, and my son's still with me.
Oh, okay.
So
that's from your first marriage?
So he was my youngest son of three. He's been living with me and Gina for, forever, basically. So he's like, he'll be 30 next year.
Oh, he's still a kid, man.
He doesn't work. Yeah, he doesn't work or anything right now, but he was around to back me up with my wife. So.
Well, speaking of work here,
keep an eye on me.
Speaking of work, because I was facing this the other day, if you worked in the convention industry, which was a huge industry and employing a lot of people, you don't have a job, and it's not like what are you doing to live right now? If there's people who were making deep six-figure incomes working in the convention industry, and that's gone. What do you do?
Yeah.
There's all kinds of other fields like that where people were working, and now, you worked for Walt Disney. Well, they just furloughed 24,000 people. Like, what do you do? Like, what are those people going to do to make a living now? Like, what jobs are out there to do? Like your son, like, what is there to do?
I know, pretty much, yeah. He might just have to go to one of these fast food places or something like that.
But even then, I mean, there's got to be 10 applicants for every position when there's nothing else to do.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, the job numbers that came out recently were better, weren't they, than we thought they were going to be?
Well,
yeah, surprisingly, it is better and it improved, which seems. But like you said, there's certain industries that are just totally devastated.
Mm-hmm.
But if we get a vaccine soon, then couldn't that cure a lot of the those industries might come back?
Well, they have to come back. Yeah, in the absence of any kind of pathogen, we'll go back to normal eventually. And normal would be back to doing social things. We'll be able to hold conventions. We'll be able to travel as we could before. We'll be able to amass in groups and socialize. Like, let's say you're doing concerts. Anything involving a group. You don't have a job, and you don't have any way of you can't do that from home. You can't do it on Zoom, so you're screwed. And that is a big chunk of the economy. And here in Hollywood and California, where movie sets and stuff, they're shut down. A few of them have worked. Well, it's a quarter of some are working, yes, but that's a quarter of the production. And all the small guerrilla productions and everything, all the heart blood it's gone. Like, it doesn't exist. And it's like, you can talk about the employment numbers, but I see with my own eyes, it's not talking about what I'm seeing here, which is a lot of unemployed people that have, how are they going to put groceries on the table next month? How are they going to pay the rent?
Yeah. Then they kept talking stimulus, and they keep putting it off.
Yep. Well, I'd rather that everyone would get back, but it doesn't look like with cases, with the way that our government is responding to more cases being out there, they're getting more hesitant about letting us get back to our lives.
Yeah, even with the vaccine, we're looking, but they're talking maybe April, by the time a significant amount of the population could have it.
Yeah, can we really believe? I hear stuff like that. If that's reliable.
It's still if
90% effective is a pretty killer rate, though. If that's true, that's an exceptional vaccine. That'll shut this thing down in its tracks. Yeah, if enough people get 90% effective vaccine, this thing will be it'll be eradicated, like polio.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing to do what they did in a short period of time.
Then we can attack China. Then it's time for war on China. Can you unite the nation? We take on the Red Menace, and we take back Korea once and for all. Kick their asses out. And while we're at it, we'll kick their asses out of Hong Kong, too.
Yeah.
They broke the deal. Yeah. And Taiwan can be our floating aircraft carrier.
Supposed to be 100% effective, though.
100%?
What's that?
Nothing's 100%, dude.
The vaccines aren't they supposed to be better than 90% effective?
No.
Or is that normal?
No, 90.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, I looked it up. Polio is 90% effective.
Oh, 90%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think a lot of people knew that. Like,
No, I heard it for the first time this week myself.
100%, but
yeah, I heard someone. But yeah, no, nothing's 100%. But I think it's even if you're better than 60%, if you're vaccinated, then it locks just because of the way people interact. It pretty much prevents spread and transmission of it if enough people are.
Mm-hmm. They got that. Yeah. They got to figure it out what
it's the herd immunity. The herd immunity effect works properly there and flawlessly if enough people are immunized. That goes for measles and others because nothing's 100%. Yeah, if it's over 60, that's success.
So I mean that does kind of explain partly why the stock market was rallying on that news.
Sure,
it's good news.
Yeah, they were optimistic about that too.
Yeah, we get back to shopping on Main Street and Disneyland and Disney World.
Isn't it interesting that people were talking about that was going to happen? Biden was going to win, and then they would announce that the virus is over. Well, it's not exactly over.
Well, it is rather suspicious timing that the drug company puts that release out a week after. If they put it out a week before, that would have.
I think they were looking into that. Like, did Pfizer delay announcing that because the guy that runs Pfizer doesn't like Trump?
Yeah. Yeah, of course, Pfizer's a public company, so if they do, they'll be subject to SEC investigation if they suppress news.
I don't know.
But Donald was quick to come out and make sure that he got credit.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did push it pretty hard, I thought, so...
well, they did, but, dude, you don't have to say warp speed. I mean, they would have done it this fast anyway. I mean, look at the money they stand to make. Yeah. I would have moved all my resources into it and moved at warp speed, too. I mean, nobody for the government works for Pfizer.
Do with it.
Yeah, they voluntarily moved that way.
Normally the FDA and all them take their time and...
Oh, yeah, they want to say no. They want to shut things down. Which is their role. I mean, that's what they're trained to do. Yeah, we didn't even have an FDA until the Kennedy administration. And before that, the drug companies, we were their testing labs. We were their guinea pigs. Are you kidding? The stuff they used to put out? They used to be a pain reliever on the market that, it took years, but it became proven that it shortened people's lives through kidney failure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was sold into the 1970s.
They're putting all kinds of illicit stuff in some of these concoctions back in the day.
Yeah, the diet pills.
Yeah, diet pills, and they used to use cocaine.
Is that amphetamine?
Pre-Novocaine and amphetamines.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So Eric, I'm doing pretty well in Brian's SportsRock contest. At least I was until this week. I may suffer a lot this week. These were tough games, but I'm holding up my.
He's tied for. He was tied for first. Three-way tie for first right now.
Three-way. Uh-huh.
Yeah, three-way.
So, in the case of a tie, do you have to have a measurement?
A couple of gals in there too.
Oh, a couple of gals. It can't be in a measurement then. I was thinking it'd be easy. Just get out a measuring tape. But no, a couple of gals. Yeah, no, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Go back to the drawing board here.
Well, you want to do an update on the scores here? We're getting close.
Yeah, Brian,
to
can you?
o'clock.
I got something else in front of me here on my screen. I'll pull up the NFL if you can, but can you pull up the current NFL scores?
I can too if you want.
Please.
The scores. No, I got it too. Yeah. It's 14-3 Giants.
Okay, 14-3 Giants. But how much left? How much time left in Philly?
Yeah, let's see. It just flashed on my TV.
Oh, okay.
Okay, says 8 minutes left in the second. No, I'm sorry, that was another game. 7 minutes left. Let's see.
Okay, that sounds
7:05 in the second. Yeah, 7:05.
All right. Lots of time for Philly to come back.
We've got Lions 14-3 over Washington.
Yay.
8 minutes to go, first half.
Sorry,
Carolina 14-10 over Buccaneers. 9 minutes to go.
Carolina's got the ball. I got that game on in front of me. Teddy Bridgewater, 10 for 10, 93 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he's got the ball. He's on the prowl again.
Packers 7-3 over Jaguars. Like 12 minutes still.
Yeah, they're not covering 13.5. Lazy Packers.
I think that's all the games because there's a short schedule this morning.
We've got
Texans Browns.
There's apparently 5 games on this morning and 5 games on in the afternoon, so it's a balanced set today. It's the only weekend.
This time.
We got a balanced set today.
3-0 Cleveland over Houston. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. That game was delayed for some reason. He said weather, but I don't know what the details. Oh, here it is. High winds.
High wind. Yeah, they were projecting 30-mile-an-hour winds during the game. So,
but they got it going now. So.
Okay.
That guy managed to kick a field goal.
Well, he probably had the wind with him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Browns. Yeah.
Yes, Chap Dog.
How you been doing with your picks so far this year? Are you making money in your pools?
No, I'm right around 500, pretty much. Some weeks I'll win 2 over. Some weeks I'm down 2 over, and some weeks I'm even. Last week I was down 2. I've just been 500. It's been a very quiet season for me. Very,
so
very.
You've kind of been treading water.
Yeah, This is really sublime. You're about the same, aren't you?
Oh, me? Well, I just know I'm kicking ass in Brian's pool, but in on the points, I'm not very good with the points, as you know. So
I'm not really. Yeah, I don't really track my personal choices myself. If I can guess, I'm around a little over the 500 mark probably, but just a guess. But I'm in second on my own contest there. 27 and 13. Chav is 28 and 12.
Yeah. Well, I'm hanging on by a thread.
28 and 12.
Yeah, man, I'm a hot item.
Well, the Jaguars actually scored first, 3-0.
Eric doesn't believe it.
I don't believe it when I say it.
Well, I've been picking the Steelers every week, so I'm looking pretty damn smart.
Did they
that
cover?
Helps right there. Yeah.
Did they cover? Have they covered every week?
That's like what at least 5 wins there. Maybe I picked 5 games.
Have they won and covered for 8 weeks in a row? Or not? It wouldn't be.
I don't know. No, they don't win.
Covered.
They tend to win by 10 points or less.
Yeah.
And it's usually around, it's usually something like 30-20 or 30-24 or 30-28.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of close games where they're just a little ahead and they hold it. Their defense gets it done at the end.
Yeah, somebody posted a thing on my SportsRock. Matter of fact, where did it go? Here it is.
So SportsRock on Facebook, everybody.
The only teams not to lose a game by more than 7 points this season. 8-0 Steelers and the 2-6 Chargers.
Oh, the 2-6 Chargers, yeah.
But that's losing by so.
Chargers are heartbreak kids, but they're just not that good.
Well,
they're good enough.
They've always been heartbreakers. In their best years, they get there and.
Yeah.
Hey, Atlanta's trying.
I remember one year they took out the Patriots, and there was everybody going, "Yeah, we're going," and then they lost the next game.
What do you want to play to go out, Eric? You want to play the Bob Trumpe intro with who was it? There was a pretty good NBC on it was the intro since the Cleveland game.
Yeah, let me play
Dick Enberg.
Yeah, let me play that one, and then I've got I got a couple things to go out on, but I'll do that. I'll start that one.
Yeah.
The Browns.
Right, well,
the 86 Browns Bengals opening.
So
yeah, let me play. I'll play a few minutes of this, and then I'll move into a couple other things.
All right, and that will probably take us to the end of the show. Thank you for calling in, Brian.
Hey, my pleasure. No problem, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, great to have
week.
Brian Keller there, a SportsRock on Facebook.
Eric, as always, thank you for a great show. Couldn't have done without you.
Pleasure, Joe.
Thank you, Frank Fleming from Barstool Sports. We'll be back next week. Everybody be safe and enjoy the football. And try not to get too emotional selection, okay?
All right.
We're going to go out with the AFC from 1988. Bob Trumpe, my favorite announcer, along Dick Enberg.
Sold out long ago. They've been waiting for this one in Cincinnati. The Bengals and the Browns. And weather conditions are just about perfect. Good afternoon, everyone. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpe on a very big game day in Cincinnati. They're calling this one the Battle of Ohio. The Browns come in with a one-game lead. If they win the AFC Central Division. But the odds makers like the Bengals, and with reason. Cincinnati's beaten Cleveland 5 of the last 6 meetings. Bengals have the number 1 offense in the NFL, and the Bengals dominated the Browns at Cleveland in September. And a number 1 question, Bob Trumpe, coming in. Can the Browns stop this vaunted running game of Cincinnati?
Don, I think they have to. It's not an if. This team averages 4.9 yards per carry last week against New England, 300 yards rushing. That's the number 1 priority for the Cleveland defense. Stop the Bengals running backs.
Today we'll be watching 2 of the rising stars at quarterback in the National Football League. Boomer Esiason and Bernie Kosar.
Esiason, of course, the first quarterback taken in the 84 draft, and Bernie Kosar, the first taken in the 85 draft, the supplemental draft. Both these young men, extraordinary talents. The Bengals like Boomer Esiason because of his strength of arm, and the Cleveland Browns, I think, like Bernie Kosar because he diagnoses the defense, calls the audibles at the line of scrimmage perfectly. He very seldom makes a mistake. He is a very even keel, his mind is just set there. He very seldom makes a mistake, and that's what Marty Schottenheimer wants out of Kosar.
Bengals are coming in off a victory at New England where they had almost 600 yards offense, and that's what Marty Schottenheimer, a defensive specialist, has to try and shut down today. Marty and his Browns coming in with a 1-game lead, but they're the underdog to Sam White's and the Bengals.
White's
Spangled
NFL Live on ESPN.com. Trey Wingo here with Mark Schlereth and Dad Dude.
Hello.
Marcellus Wiley. Now, I know
I hold it down for the city that I'm at. That's Kansas City boy in the middle of the map, yeah. And I'm KC stunting. Welcome to the town, homie, you don't want nothing, no. And if you cut me, I would probably bleed. Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. See, y'all just Indians and we the Chiefs. Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. Yep, for my city, I rep for my city, I be the wake up call, a nigga slept on my city like. I'm like tech for my city, and he told me I'm ready, so I'm next for my city now. This is Kansas City, homes. No, it ain't no pounds here. Only moving chickens and getting money around here. If you come to visit, be careful when you around here. You see that red and yellow, you know that you in the town, yeah. 103 jamming, the gates man strutting. It's Sunday in the trunks, off in Swope Park bumping. The Lil stay booming, the specs stay jumping. Take a look at my fitted, and if you read the front, it say Kansas City. I hold it down for the city that I'm at. That's Kansas City boy in the middle of the map, yeah. And I'm KC stunting. Welcome to the town, homie, you don't want nothing, no. And if you cut me, I would probably bleed. Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. See, y'all just Indians and we the Chiefs. Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. Kansas City, my home, we in the war zone and been underrated for years and got it going on. Killer Cappy, 14 and he trigger happy, seeing dollar signs, all he dreams is a new caddy. My city full of them thugs, plus it's loaded with drugs. Get out of line and get hit with them slugs. Damn, I'm top 5 when you mention the town. Mr. Stay Fly the devil, homie, I get around, I hold it down. I hold it down for the city that I'm at. That's Kansas City boy in the middle of the map, yeah. And I'm KC stunting. Welcome to the town, homie, you don't want nothing, no. And if you cut me, I would probably bleed. Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. See, y'all just Indians and we the Chiefs. Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. Draped in that red and yellow, rocking with that heavy metal. Killer City, KC, double E, baby. I'm KC like a jazz show, like Jigga Man, switch it up. Jazzo, big team collect $200, then we pass go. We a monopoly, ain't nobody stopping me. This that classic flow, always the real thing. We ballin' KC in honor of the Kansas City Kings. Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. KC is most definitely the town. Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. And if you cut me, I would probably bleed. Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. See, y'all just Indians and we the Chiefs. Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. I hold it down for the city that I'm at. That's Kansas City boy in the middle.